choices astray, preventing them from walking a dangerous way. The numbers of the youth, staggering it seems, their belief in any means, even extreme, but we call upon God as our first reaction, offering an alternative of divine attraction. Special disappear who been where they aspire, to detour them to show a path is higher, a profitable outcome, pleasing to God's sight, benefiting the 99%, shining the guiding light. Generational turnaround, open doors wide for more people to thrive. No one left behind, seeking truth, unraveling the wild. One wrong decision to turn around, we defy. Generational turnaround, a podcast of truth, bringing undeniable proof. In a world where decisions cast a shadow, generational turnaround, we rise to follow. For the young, the purpose denied. We bring truth proof, no longer
all right.
Generational turnaround, we're on the scene.
Let me turn some music off of y'all.
God knows, making choices astray, preventing them from walking a dangerous way. The numbers of the youth, staggering it seems, their belief in any means, even extreme, but we
Good morning. Good evening. This is Generational Turnaround Podcast, where we seek the truth, but we bring you the proof. And I know I'm looking crazy right now, but I've been parading. I've been in my hometown, past Christian, Mississippi, and that's the best parade on the Gulf Coast. And so these are my beads, okay, my Mardi Gras shirt, my vest. I had the whole works on today, okay? What you think about me, Sway Low?
It looks like you've been living your life to the fullest. Looks like you've been having fun. So yeah, that's why I was like, I said, well, what you been out doing today? You've been out, enjoying it. And that's what you said. It's beautiful out there.
Let me tell you, there were thousands of people in a little town. I mean, a little town. I don't think we have 10,000 people in there.
Mhm.
But today, there were more visitors from all over the coast and all over the country in that town that we had more visitors than the people that live in the town. So
Wow.
it was great. But then we had a lot of home folks that comes home once a year, and it's at Mardi Gras. Not
Okay.
Christmas, not any time of the year. They come for Mardi Gras.
Okay.
So I was so blessed to be able to I didn't really go to see the parade because it's so crowded.
Mm-hmm.
But my friend lives down the street, and so you can see the floats and everything, and
Right.
you see people passing by the droves, going to go get their
Right.
throws, and just have a great time. And
You get
so
a chance to see your friend and see the parade all at the same time.
that's right, friends, family. I mean, you might meet somebody that you didn't know. It happens too. I said,
Yeah.
look, let me tell you. I have people coming up to me. Okay, men, let me tell you like it is. Men coming up to me and
Mhm.
saying, "Oh my God, you're gorgeous." And I'm like, okay, thank you, thank you. I don't even know how to treat when someone. Well, anyway, that's another story. That's a disability. Okay, disability unplugged is what I was doing. That's when
You don't look like what you've been through, is what you're saying.
I know. Yes, that's what I'm saying, and that's what they said. But you look the way you look and act determines what you're going to get in life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a new man, woman, or a new job, or just a new look on life. And today, I had a new look on life because I haven't been in that situation where a man come complimented me like they did today. So, being that, okay, this show today is it's going to be about. I have right now what's called Activate Your Faith Publishing Company. And I don't know if a lot of you all know that, but it's especially it's a 501c3 nonprofit, and it's dedicated to helping the disabled and those who have been incarcerated and it's about to get out. And what I want to do is help them to share their story with you, others. And I'm looking for sponsors to help in that area who would like to see the disabled really, we've been labeled with so many things, right, Suelo? We're we put on disability and then we're put in a position to there's so many things that we can't do, things that we can't have because, well, our income and our mindset has been crushed because we know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthened us, but we are kind of pushed to the back and we're ready to come forward. And we got so much information in our head that we need to share with those who are just learning, and we already know. So for me, that's how it is for me. What about for you, Suelo?
You mean about which part of it?
What are you doing? What are you doing as a disabled person that people are shocked that you are able to do it?
Um, I'm becoming a self-made entrepreneur.
Okay.
That's what it is. Because when I became disabled, everyone counted me out because
Mhm.
I was the one, I was the go-to person. I was the one who fixed everyone's problems. I was the one who was, I was the glue to everything. And when I went through cancer, stage 4 endometriosis, breast cancer, stage 4 endometriosis, and fibromyalgia. I have fibromyalgia as well. I have a lot of things going on with my spine that can't be fixed. That there's nothing that they can do about it. So
Well, and where did that leave what now we talking about what are we gonna do to make sure that people realize that they have some options and you know one thing about writing a book, and I know you haven't done that yet, but you are tied in to this with writing the books because you came up with another that people can do. Uh, and I want you, we got a package get deal going here. Won't you tell them about what you are contributing to the package?
okay, well, because of my disability and
Yes.
not being able to get to go back to work and everything, I had to tap into my talent, in which I didn't know even existed. So
Yes.
that's the whole thing. I didn't even know it was there. I said long time ago I wanted to make these puzzles out of pictures because I love nature. I love the nature pictures, and
Hmm.
yeah. So was blessed with all the equipment, to do so. I mean, everything was given to me from the press to the printer, everything. And so now that's what I do. I make puzzles and mugs. And that's what Miss Judy was talking about, because with her book, her Healing Words book, there's a package deal. Either you can get the book by itself, or you can get healing's words mug and puzzle. It's a package deal. So it'll be her book and then my mug and my puzzle. So
And that's just an example of what you could do as a disabled person. And then also, we have also those that have been incarcerated. And you got a story to tell. And this whole thing, today, this show is about storytelling. And we want those who are disabled and those who have been incarcerated to think about, you've been there for a while, and what can I do to make a difference, to turn my life around so that people can see that I've changed, and I can contribute to society. And there's no better way to contribute to society, to write a book that helps others not go down the same road that you have been down. Rather, it's health. The Suelo is a self-help, self-love. Okay, when you write a book, what you're doing is telling someone the same thing that Suelo is teaching about. You're telling them that, look, I made a mistake. I went down the same road, but I know I love me now. I know better now, and I don't want you to make that same mistake. And if you write it in a book, you don't know who all gonna read it. You can talk to several people, and but when people buy a book and they read it, you don't know who's gonna be reading that purpose. And you don't know, after they read it, they may give it to someone else who needs it, that they know that person needs it. So, uh, writing a book, it's just, you will contribute to so many lives. And so I need sponsors. I need sponsors who understand that people make mistakes, as those who are incarcerated. People make mistakes as those who have strokes or heart attacks, or even in an automobile accident, because it happens by sometimes what we do, the chances we take, the unhealthy food that we eat, the unhealthy drinking too much, and we're on high blood pressure. And help me, Suelo. There's
well,
so many things.
I want to add to this something that you're talking about, because when it comes to the men in prison, yeah, men and women in prison, but men in prison, um, the one thing about it, the one thing that they do have access to are books.
Hmm.
So, no, they won't have the mugs or the puzzles, but they will be able to have access to your books as well. So if someone, buys your book, send it to someone, or if it ends up in the prison system, in the library, hope that it does. Let's pray for that one next. So,
Okay.
and just like I said, with Healing Words being inside of the four walls of the system, who knows who that may help, you know. I'm not saying it's gonna change everybody, because we know that,
Yeah,
you know.
well, that's okay. We ain't worried about the ones who's not going to be changed. We're
Right,
worried about the one who are
exactly.
going to be changed. And my book is Healing Words. Thank you, Suelo. Speaking life unto the generations. So, what would the title of your book be? Who will your book change? Generates, it's going to change some generations. You may not know what generation is going to read your book and make a generational turnaround, but they're not going to unless you start to writing.
Well,
Go ahead.
also, you know, listening to you talk, a lot of people are shamed. A lot of people, they don't want to tell their story. A lot of people have been told, don't talk about, you know, what goes on in this house. Don't talk about, you know, the things that you've been through. Excuse me. But I just want everyone to know that what you go through is actually for you to grow through, is to
Hmm.
build you, is for you to understand who God purposely made you to be. It's
Yeah.
not hide who they want them not to be exposed to honestly be, but it's to help you, the person that, you know, that needs to walk in their purpose. So
Well,
walk in their
you know,
purpose and keep going.
and I was thinking about the parade that I was in today. And you know what? I was looking at the families coming in there by the droves, and I was thinking, how many parents that has been to prison, and they're out now and are not there with their children because they went to prison. Maybe they're not forgiving them yet, or maybe they I don't have access to them because, you know, what happened. But when you write a book as a parent who's been incarcerated, you get an opportunity to write in that book what you were feeling, what you visioned for your children while you were there, what you plan to do when you get out. And just having your name on that book is going to make that child curious. That child may not, I mean, that child may be older. I'm not talking about a child, a young uh, person. Your child could be in the teens, and out of curiosity, make purchase that book. Maybe nobody else may know but that child, that person. And read your story and realize this is what my mom and or my dad went through in prison, and this is what he was thinking about me. She was thinking about me the whole time she was in there. So I want to help those who've been incarcerated to tell their story, and mainly because I know it will make a difference in your loved one that you can't see for whatever the reason. And then my piece of people, my family, my community of disabled people. We, our life has been cut short as we were living it. But me and Suelo know that the change that was made, we actually benefited from it, right, Suelo?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I most definitely can say that I did. Because the relationship that, first off, the relationship that I have with God right now, I didn't have it, and I have it. And to say that it's 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 a wonderful feeling. It's beautiful. When I hear people bicker or argue now, and I'm like, what? Okay,
No.
I'm just I don't have time for it. You know, my body rejects it, and I just
Mhm.
because like now again, I'm a self-made entrepreneur.
Mhm.
I had to learn how to become obedient. Once I became obedient, and I started doing exactly what God told me to do. I have a whole print shop in my house now. I have a whole print shop, and I'm like, okay, okay. I woke up this morning and I went in there to put my desk together because someone sent the desk yesterday. And mine, I'm gonna tell everybody because I know everybody's gonna be watching this. A lot of people's gonna be watching this, but everything was given to me.
Mhm.
Everything was given to me. I didn't have to spend excuse me, money on anything. The only thing I may have to spend money on is like tape, you know, extra paper, you know, stuff like that. But to start out, everything was given to me. It's not hard.
Does that help?
My
I can tell you the ones that are looking and listening to us right now, Suelo, I don't know if you can see it,
no.
but people are coming in and out, and we doing a recap like you do in Clubhouse.
Mhm.
We are talking about those people. We are Disability Unplugged. And we are right now, we're unplugging the myths that say that we are disabled and that we are no longer able to do what we did before. But we don't want to do what we did before because God has given us a new thing. We are not the people that we used to be. So, with that being said, I'm giving the opportunity to sponsors to come in and we I have a publishing company, Activate Your Faith Publishing Company, and we want those that has been that are disabled to come and write their stories. We're gonna help you to write. I am the CEO of Activate Your Faith Publishing Company, and those who are uh, been to prison, fathers and mothers, and you want to write your story. You want to share not only to society, but especially to your children. And I want you to join me to get in touch with me on Messenger, Judy Ambrose James, and say, I want to write my story. I want to share because I don't know who is going to benefit, but I know someone will. I want you to have that mentality that you've got something to say and you have something that's going to help someone who's in the wheelchair and you once was like me and Suelo. We were there. I'm on the quad cane now. I have been on the walker. My speech was a work in progress, and it still is sometimes, but I have written 4 books, and I've also helped by starting a anthology where 7 of us completed that anthology, and it made #1 on the new selection and #2 in the bestseller. So tell me what you can do, anything that you put your mind to. So that is, for me, it means so much to me when I help authors, new authors, and see that so they could do so much in a book that they can't do anywhere else. So, Suela, I know you haven't written that first book yet, but what would that mean to you?
Um, the first book, it would mean that everything that everyone said that I wasn't going to be able to complete or accomplish, I accomplished that and then some.
Yes.
Yeah, that and then some. So that would be that. Okay, I'm so glad I had that come to Jesus moment and
Mhm.
found out, I had to go back home, but they always say we have to go back home. But I do want to talk about, the books, for, you know, um the prisoners telling their story is very valuable, because when we look back and when we listen to the stories of why things are repeated, it's because that's all I know. That's all I know. But if you see a book and you see someone, and they may look like they're straight out of the hood or whatever, wherever from, and you see the title of their story, that other person, that youngster, that whatever you want to call them, they might pick that book up and say, you know what,
Mhm.
let me see what it's about.
Yeah.
So it's very crucial, it's very critical to tell our stories. And like I said, I know
Mhm.
a lot of us, I know a lot of people. Well, let me not say a lot of us, because I wasn't told that, but I've heard myself. A lot of people don't you say what's going on behind these four walls. Don't you speak that, because what goes on in this house stays in this house. But I've learned, that a lot of times when that's being said, it's because it's a lot of wrongdoing, and those people don't want you to figure out that they're actually hurting you or manipulating you or abusing you and not teaching you the correct way. So tell your story to get freedom. Tell your story so you can get peace. Tell your story so no one else has to go through the same thing that you're went through, and going behind the same bars and going through the same things. Because, like, a lot of my disability was from holding on and taking care of family when I should have been taking care of myself. So
Yeah.
tell your story
That's
so
right.
others don't have to go through it. Because I tell everybody now that's what Miss Judy was talking about: self-care awareness, self-awareness. Love yourself. It's not about everybody else. You can't take care of them if you are not right. Look at us, disabled but
Right.
still successful, very much well. Get
Very, very much successful. And you know what? And so my sponsors, what I envision is all of you who dare, who dare to write your story to see who it would benefit. I'm envisioning that I will get sponsors who will pay for you. You will come in, and I have workshops, and I will get you prepared to tell your story. I'm also a developmental consultant, so I will get out of you what is in you that you want to say. So I will help you with that part. And then once we get that done, then I will take it to what's his name, Amazon, and we'll publish it. And then from there, we'll go to marketing it to make sure it gets to the right people. So if you know someone that can sponsor, send them to me. Nothing that you can do, but really this is to the sponsors. These, you all out there who have companies and you have X amount of dollars that you want to spend with uh, a nonprofit, that's doing something. I know I'm doing something that is not a lot of people doing. I'm helping the disabled to realize that they're still able. And then I'm helping parents who were incarcerated and they need a re-entry to society. And they don't know what they're going to do. Well, I want to help bring them in, help them tell their story and write that story where where it will benefit their children so that they can read those stories and realize, yes, my mother or my father was gone from my life for whatever the length of time, but I never knew that they felt this way. And they're reading it in the book. And the book is talking about them, their children, and their love, and how they missed, and what they were doing to stay focused so that they could get out just to get back home to their children. That in a book would be just what they need. So if I could get some sponsors out there that would help in this endeavor, then it would be a wonderful thing. Now, for me, it's a mandate. Okay. It's not just a quest. It's a mandate. God gave me that mandate to help these us who are disabled and you who have been to prison and you want to redeem yourself to God first and your children by writing your story that will live forever and help those other parents and children. And you know what? Make those other children think about, I wonder what my father and mother was going through and what they would give them a chance to tell us what really they were thinking about. So this is Generational Turnaround Show, and we are on Roku and other platform. And I want you all to think about what I said. And I want y'all to go out and get my book, Healing Words, Speaking Life Unto the Generations. It's a parent's guide. I didn't know that I could just write what was on my heart and what I wanted my grandchildren to know and my children to know. And I did it in that book. And so forever, every generation after this, will be able to pick up my book, read it, and say, my grandmother left a legacy, not only just for us, but for every generation all over the world. And that's the way I look at it. What about you? Before we go, Suelo, what is it? What is it for you?
Well, it's just ironic that you asked it because I'm not a biological parent, um,
Mm.
but I have three. I have three. I have two nieces and I have a son. Um, and that's the one thing I told my son. I said, everything that I'm doing, I said, this is for when I leave. I said, this is for you and those two nieces of mine. I said, so, and I know it kind of caught him off guard a little bit. But my thing is, when you really have to be careful what you ask for, because when you ask for things and you get it, you have to make sure that you're ready. So since I did ask for him and he's here and he's been here, he'll be 34 in June. I want to make sure that, yeah, I leave him something, and he's gonna be on one of these podcasts with us, Generational Turnaround, or my podcast. One of them, he's gonna be on here with us.
Okay, so tell everybody your podcast.
My podcast is on YouTube, Swaylo. It's SWAY-LO. It's self-care awareness. We always talk about self-care awareness. Well, I always talk about self-care awareness, but it's kind of like go with the flow, and it's giving God the glory, because when man counted me out, when man forgot I even existed, God still was like, no, I have a plan for you. You have purpose. So it's just, like I said, general conversation. Um, Everything is unedited, is raw, is so, it's people's truth. It's their life story. So yeah, that's what it's about. Um, Everything's a new beginning, like I said, and yeah, thanks to Miss Judy. Thanks to Miss Judy.
Oh, baby, thank you, thank you. Well, we're almost out of time. I'm always having something. Okay, let me say it again. We're almost out of time, but it's not too late, everybody. It's not too late to tell yourself, look, I'm here for a reason. God woke me up this morning not to not to live out your purpose, but to live your purpose. And if your purpose is to write a book, a best-selling international, I say everybody's international book, because it's not just for this country. You got to think bigger than that. And when you write that book to benefit the masses, that's what I say. You write a book to benefit the masses. And if you disabled and you counted your own self out and you write that book, that successful book about how you got over, how you, where you are today, like Suelo, how you are all of a sudden a, a six-figure, okay, entrepreneur, when you've been counted out by everybody else. Well, you know what? When you write that book, you you stepped off into a whole different world, plateau, as they say. And you can be and say and do anything in that book that you say. And then when I read it, I'm reading your story, whether it's happened to you in person or it's a fiction that you see yourself as. I love fiction. Let me tell you, I've written several fiction, but you know what? I was the character. But people did not know that. And they were so into the book, and they were wondering, I wonder if she's talking about herself, because the name was changed to protect the innocent, right? Okay. Well, that part. But thank y'all so much. I'm dressed like this for everybody to know. I've been to Mardi Gras in Pass Christian, Mississippi. That's my hometown. And we had a ball, okay? And there was people from all over this country gathering for one day of good time, fellowship, having their families, whole families was walking down carrying bags of beads and trinkets, and just throw me something, mister. That's what it was. Throw me something, mister. Now, I didn't get to sit down there, but I did see the floats from a distance. So, y'all, every day could be that way if you have that same mindset.
But listen, Miss Judy,
Yes.
when you said this, you said, because I used to say that, I was like, Lord, why did this have to happen to me? When I was going through the process, I always say, we got to go through the process. But when I
Yes.
was going through my process, I was in the beginning, I was like, Lord, why does it have to happen? Why does it have to happen to me? But no, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me.
That's right.
It happened for me, because without it, I wouldn't be where I am now, because I would still be going to work, clocking in for somebody else. And that's the whole thing. God was like, okay, you're going to work. You're running all these different departments, because I was working for FedEx, logistics in Coppell, Texas. He was like, you're doing all this work for this corporation. Go do it for me. And I was like, I'm not equipped for that. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. So now he set me down to set me up. And now I understand I had talents I didn't even know, because the stuff that I'm doing, the things that's coming to my mind, with the stuff and now I have my desk and I'm putting stuff together, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So there you have it.
There you have it. Oh, I hate to leave, but I gotta go because I'm running out of time. Why does it keep saying that? I'm running out of time, but we'll be back next Sunday. You can also see my podcast. This is Generational Turnaround Show, and it's on Roku. But on Thursday and Friday, Generational Turnaround Podcast. So follow me, like, subscribe, and share. But I need you all I need y'all to keep this show on air by subscribing to it. And more subscribers, the more want, not want. Yeah. The more you want to watch this show, the more you subscribe to this show, they will keep this show on. So we are both disabled, but we are well able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that people think we can, and we can. So again, thank you. I pray that today was better than yesterday. And it definitely was for me because I got to see all my kinfolk and friends. So better than yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow. I pray that tomorrow will bring forth a double portion of blessings in the form of opportunity that you never saw coming. Good night. Wait a minute.
Right.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me put my little music on to go.
Yeah, I
I
know that
don't.
music.
I wish I had my Mardi Gras music to go, but I got even better.
I am because I am says I am. In the valley of shadows I'll stand. Fearless I walk through the night, with faith as my guiding light. I am because I am says I am. In His presence I take my stand. Thou prepares a table before me, even in the presence of my enemy. Anointed with oil, my head held high. I am who I am, no need to justify. Goodness and mercy follow my